Hey guys, Prepare Mentality here. Welcome to Preparedness Talk. I have a special guest here, Lamont Hankins. He's the owner of Armed and Prepared. He helps people get their CCLs. He teaches people in self-defense, hand-to-hand combat. And I thought it was important to get him on the show to really get an inside view of his business, what he's doing with the community, and how he's helping us and our families stay safe and prepared. So, how you doing, brother?
Man, I'm doing great. How about yourself, bro?
Awesome. So again, I saw you on Instagram. I saw what you were doing. You're doing some great things, teaching people how to get their CCLs, how to be armed, how to stay prepared, how to, keep themselves prepared and have security at home with their families and personal protection. So, man, how did you get started in this?
All right. So I'm special forces. So I'm ex-military. Is how that's how I fell in love with firearms and protection. And then I came out. I was actually at church. And my church was on in St. Clair in Cleveland, which is not the greatest place you want to be.
Right.
And we had an incident that actually happened with some of the ladies actually leaving the church getting robbed. So
Wow.
I started Armed and Prepared actually as self-defense. So
Wow.
we started self-defense for women and children. It actually started with women, then people asked, can my kids get involved in it? So it started with women and children, teaching quick strikes techniques, how to be aware of your surroundings, just giving them information. Then it ended up becoming I started teaching like church security teams, how to operate, how to and me having a love for firearms, I always just went to the range.
Wow.
But I would end up spending most of my time teaching the people around me how to shoot because kind of like my life.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they was scaring me the way they were shooting. So I would just teach them. And then a couple of the guys who was actually running the Sherwin Shooting Sports in East Lake actually came to me, was like, you probably need to actually start teaching it because you spend most of your time not shooting yourself, but teaching everybody around you.
Right.
That's how I actually got into it. But from there, and here comes my crazy dog right now. All right, Biscuit. You can hear his feet.
Yeah, that's all right. Hey, we all need dogs for protection. That's what my dog's for. Even though
Right. My dog is an alert system. That's what he is.
Yeah, for sure.
But so, hey, babe, could you grab Biscuit? I'm on a conference call. All right. So I'm sorry about that.
Yep.
And so from there, I took the courses to actually learn how to actually teach based on the NRA.
Right.
But I didn't want to stop there. So I got all my other certifications because I didn't just want to actually just be a CCW instructor.
Right.
I wanted to get into personal protection because it's just more than just getting your certificate so you can carry a gun and then going out. Like what you do, and I looked at yours as well. You want to get people prepared.
Right.
And it, like what you said, with the mentality first. When I came up with the company Armed and Prepared, I did not want just to arm them physically. I wanted to arm them mentally, right? Because the informed shooter will always be just a shooter,
right?
Knowing when to. So I wanted to prepare my people because let's be honest, it's a different things from being armed Black citizen, other than or a person of color than just an armed citizen. Yes, right. So our counterparts.
Right.
So I wanted to prepare them for life, teach them how to be prepared. So I came up with the personal protection. So we do teach if somebody invades your home, what do the law states? How do we prepare ourselves?
Right.
I prepare my people with what happens after the fight.
Mm.
Because if you practice really good, I
Mhm.
got really good that I'm not really concerned if somebody attacked me.
Mhm.
I, I think I did enough. I had enough training. The military taught me.
Right.
If you see my videos, you know, I shoot pretty good, right?
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
My hand-to-hand combat, I even think I'm better with my hands than I am with my gun.
Right.
Yeah, I think I can take care of myself. What I'm afraid of is
Mhm.
what happens after I use my gun. And
Mm.
I don't think most people think about that,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
What laws protect me? What does it? When can
Mhm.
I pull my gun? When can I not?
Mhm.
Um, you know, and those were the things that intrigued me most. And when I learned about that, studied those things, I wanted to give that
Mhm.
to my clients,
Wow.
because knowledge isn't empowering by itself. It's
Right.
the application, being able to apply that knowledge. That's
Mhm.
the thing that empowers us. And I want that to be conveyed more than anything else.
Mm.
That when somebody meet me or come through my class, I want them to feel empowered,
Yeah. Yeah.
and not just by having guns. Because if we look at statistics, the average person who have their CCW, when they're faced with a situation, they
Mm.
never get to pull their gun,
Mm.
right?
Mhm.
So just having a gun doesn't do anything for you.
Mm.
Knowing how to use it when you're
Right.
faced with it is the thing that empowers you.
Right.
And that's what I wanted to do. So that's why I did want to get into this lane. That's why I continue trying to make sure my classes isn't just one dimensional,
Right.
um, and that I make sure I continue doing training myself,
Mm.
because I don't want to add something new to the class just to make my class look exciting. I
Right.
see too many instructors who not not trained to do some of the things that they're teaching, and they're
Mm.
teaching people who think that they're going to a professional, and
Mhm.
learn the things that simply should not be done.
Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Or learning things that you will never use in an
Yeah,
actual gunfight or hand to hand combat. So
right.
that brings me to this question. So, from your military background, me being in the army myself, from our perspective, it's very easy for us to gravitate towards firearms, how to use firearms, safety, defense. But do you come across, especially in our community, do you come across people who are, um, they have some type of reluctancy from learning about firearms, or they're afraid or scared of the firearms community and us having that type of power and or learning about it?
Yeah, I get that all the time, and I actually encourage it.
Mm.
I think I'm more afraid of people who don't fear it.
Mm.
I think you should have a healthy respect
Yeah.
for firearms. You have to have a healthy respect of it. It's not something that you can play with,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
So having your firearm and respecting it,
Mm.
and being a former military veteran, you know that that's what they preach.
Right.
We respected our firearm.
Hmm.
It was as if it was another person. It
Yeah.
was like you couldn't just throw it on your bed. You know what I'm saying? Like
Wow.
it was part of you, and having a healthy respect of it will keep people from playing with it.
Mm. Mm.
And it's too many firearm accidents that end up happening.
Hmm.
In Ohio last year in 2020, they sold over 3 million guns.
Mm.
3 million.
Wow.
Now, a lot of people came through our classes, and I'm glad about that, because I had
Yeah.
a very nice 2020.
Yeah.
But a lot of people did.
Yeah. For sure.
And one thing we learned in the gun community, that most accidents, over 86% of accidents, happen because of ignorance.
Mm.
Ignorance. That's not that's ignorance should not be confused with stupidity. No,
Right.
ignorance is to not know. You don't know. And the root word inside ignorance is to ignore. Is to
Mm.
ignore what a reasonable person should know,
Right.
right?
Right.
You don't know. We don't know. We don't know. And we don't go and get the information to even learn it.
Mm, mm,
So things like passing a gun to your friend, things like cleaning your gun can cause accidents.
mhm.
Playing with it, trying to charge it, charge the gun while still having your finger on the trigger. Different things like that.
Yeah.
That's just pure ignorance. Don't know. If you know, if you know better, you're able to do better.
Right. For sure.
That's why I also encourage people who do have guns, and I get a lot of reluctance from a lot of parents at first
Hmm.
about having their kids learn how,
Yes.
because the gun is going to be in the house. they
Yes.
better they better have a respect for the gun too.
Hmm. Yeah. Having respect, having that type of responsibility,
Yeah,
and knowing how it works, not just as uh, a firearm, but using it as a tool like everything else.
right,
Uh, and especially in our community, we have to look at it as a tool and not
yeah,
as a weapon. Because I
yeah,
think there's a big stigma about, the weapons and criminal justice system and Black people using firearms or having firearms. What do you think about the relationship between law enforcement and us learning how to use our firearms correctly, but still having that stigma on it?
of weapon. Um, I don't like to call my firearm a weapon.
Right.
Um, Being former military, what is a weapon?
Hmm.
Everything, anything that we can use to subdue an individual, right? I remember one time getting a fight and winning because I had a bottle of water.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Poured right in his face. He went and I was all over him, right? So that was a weapon for me,
Right.
right? So anything can be used as a weapon. So a firearm is, like you said, it's a tool. It's just another tool. If you don't know how to use the tool,
Hmm.
you're gonna lose anyway,
Yeah.
right? As far as as law enforcement, I think we have to have a respect toward law enforcement,
Hmm.
right? But we shouldn't have a reverence to them,
Mm.
right? They are there to serve and protect us,
Right.
and we need to hold them accountable, right? We definitely need to hold them accountable. Now, I think sometimes we go too far,
Hmm.
and sometimes we don't go far enough.
Mm.
Now, some people say do we defund the police? I don't know. I don't know about that. The reason I say I don't know, I don't think that we're at a position in our communities in which we can actually police ourselves.
Right.
There's too many things that's against us to be able to police ourselves. I would love to have that responsibility to police ourselves.
Hmm.
If you have a second, I would like to tell you a quick story.
Go ahead, brother.
When I was growing up, um, I lived in a community called Huff, right?
Hmm.
And and a situation happened in which two people who I personally know robbed this Muslim kid for his starter coat.
Mm.
Back then, starter coats was the rage,
Right.
right?
Right.
And so he had this starter coat, and they robbed him of the starter coat. And he did not want to give up that starter coat. So one of the guys shot him,
Mm.
right? So the neighborhoods, of course, back then we ain't talking.
Hmm.
No, we ain't saying nothing. Nobody ain't saying nothing. You hear some things, but nobody ain't saying nothing. So the police couldn't find out any information. But the Muslims,
Mm.
they were mad.
Yeah.
It was upset, right? So them brothers was walking down the street, talking to people, strong arming some people.
Mm.
And I remember we was in the alley and we was playing crate ball, right?
Yeah.
With a milk cart. You know what I'm saying? They
Yeah.
cut the milk crate up and
Old
then we
school.
playing, yeah, old school. So we playing crate ball. And we see all these cars just come up the alley.
Mm.
They go right behind the apartment complex. And all these brothers with bow ties and black shirts come out, just big guys too, right?
Yeah.
And they march up the apartment buildings on the backside and they start banging on the door. And I ain't gonna say no names,
Hmm.
you know what I'm saying,
Hmm.
right here. But one of the guys, he opened up the door and they looked at him, realized that wasn't the person they was up, but the dude grabbed him And this dude wasn't a small dude who they grabbed. They
Mm-hmm.
grabbed him and choked him up against the door and asked where your brother at.
Mm.
He didn't say anything. 5 other guys rushed into the house,
Right.
pulled this boy out by his underwear. I mean, they had arms. He was in his
Right.
underwear, had his arms, legs. Pull him in there, threw him in the back of a trunk, and
Mm.
drove him to jail.
Wow.
And said, "Here's your killer."
Wow. I would say that's community policing.
That is community policing.
Right. Yeah.
Now, the thing is, we could do that ourselves as a community.
Mm.
We need that. We need that type of accountability, but it
Mm.
comes with accountability. It
Yes.
comes with people trained. I don't trust. Is there anybody that we can trust right now that the police are? I mean, do community policing? I
Mhm.
can't say that right now. So
Right.
we left to actually need the police right now.
Right.
But now that means now they need accountability.
Right.
So how do we force accountability on them?
Mm.
And
Mhm.
that's with our lawmakers.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, for
So
sure.
I feel like we need to put way more pressure on our lawmakers
Mhm.
to ensure better training,
Mhm.
better accountability.
Mhm.
Now, I don't want the cops to be in fear that they don't even want to touch the person. So now they put their lives in danger. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Because they can't do their job. They in fear if they say the wrong thing. But they
Mhm.
need to be more trained that they'll be able to handle situations and
Mm.
that the situation not handling them.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Accountability is important.
Yes.
Accountability, responsibility, and just bridging that gap between community and law enforcement. Because we all want the same thing. We all we all want great communities. We all want uh, positive activities for our communities and for us to be safe. So I think it's important that we do bridge that gap in the future and as soon as possible, um, and just try to work our way through it like we are now. Um, so getting back to your classes, what type of student do you normally get? Is it the more timid student? Do you have more experienced people coming in, or people who know nothing at all?
Uh, it's a wide range. Most people who have who do in fact have some type of training is doing it because they do want to have their CCW. They want to have
Yeah.
they want to have the ability to be able to have their license.
Hmm.
But the majority of people think they know about guns
Hmm.
and then quickly realize they don't.
Right.
Like and the thing is, I like that. I like to actually have people who's willing to learn and
Mhm.
realize that, oh man, I didn't know that. I like having that class and seeing people have them aha moments. Was
Yeah.
like, really?
Yeah.
Never know that. And the most, to be honest, the best feeling I get is a couple days later
Mm.
after the class when they call me
Mhm.
and in the background is one of their family or friends
Yeah.
who thought they knew something about a gun. They'd be like, "Hey, tell them about this." like,
Right.
like,
Right.
like, I told you was wrong. My instructor know what he
Right.
talking about. You know what I'm saying?
Trying to show out.
Yeah, they were like, "Nah, I know something. Like, you
Yeah.
ain't know what you were talking about."
Oh,
Yeah.
for sure.
So yeah, I like taking people who fresh. You
Okay.
know what I'm saying, and building them up
Hmm.
and so that they actually give them a good foundation on how to shoot, and then they know how to shoot.
Right.
Because too many classes, it like let's be honest, let's be completely honest.
Mhm.
The CCW program is a safety course,
Right.
right? I pose a test to the state of Ohio that they are indeed safe to actually carry a firearm.
Mm.
Now, that doesn't mean they need to know how to shoot,
Mm.
and most instructors don't know how to shoot,
Right. Right.
so they can't teach something that they don't even know how to do themselves.
Mm.
And in fact, the curriculum don't enforce the instructors to know how to shoot. It's
Mm.
a 2-day curriculum that teaches us how to actually, in fact, teach safety,
Okay.
which is important.
Yeah.
But I think if you're carrying a gun, you should know how to shoot that gun.
Hmm.
And so we do offer other classes to actually teach it.
Hmm.
We have the defensive pistol course. We teach level 1, level 2, and level 3.
Mm.
right? We do have advanced pistol.
Yeah.
We have basic pistol, intermediate pistol, that we teach you how to do, teach you how to shoot, and then we gradually build you up.
Mm.
I do know it's some people who like to teach um, people in their first day of training how to shoot one hand, how to shoot and move. No, no, you need to learn how to shoot first. You know, in the military, they didn't make us. They didn't allow us to move when we first started shooting.
No, not at
Right?
all.
We learned two positions: standing and prone. Right? Right?
A
You
lot of
ain't
prone.
moving and shoot. And then once they built you up and you know how to shoot,
Mm.
then we said, I got your cover. I'm on the move. You
Right.
moving. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? Then we learn how to shoot and move.
Mm-hmm.
Like I be seeing people who had their back to barrels and turning around and shooting. You don't
Mm.
do that. Like if
Mm-mm.
you turn into a shot, you dead.
Yeah.
Like who trained these people? Like I don't understand it.
Yeah.
But in my class, we start from the bottom.
Mm.
I don't care how great you are.
Mm-hmm.
When you first shoot,
Mm-hmm.
you get one. You get one. I
Yeah.
put one go in the chamber.
Mm.
You don't get to fill up no magazine.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, I don't
Mm-hmm.
trust you enough yet.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the more you build up my trust, I might let you put in two.
Right.
Then we go up from there.
No,
I'm not gonna
that's
do
good.
full maggot. No,
Mhm.
no, no, no.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
Like,
that's good.
but I need to build a foundation.
Mm-hmm.
And from that foundation, then we actually, okay, listen, you getting pretty good. Let's put you in the intermediate class. Let's
Mm-hmm.
teach you how to get a grouping.
Right.
Right?
Right.
And then from the grouping, all right, now let's learn how to actually accurately put things on target from
Mm-hmm.
different targets.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you got good at that. Let's stop using the sights because
Mm.
in real world, we're not going to look at the sights anyway.
No.
So I'm about to teach you how to shoot straight, how to shoot accurately, and not look at your sights.
Mm. That's good.
I'm not about to let you take your gun out the mag and come out there with a loaded gun and shoot from out the mag. You're gonna shoot yourself in the foot.
Mm.
All right. Now, using a practice gun, how do we pull from the mag? How pull from the holster? You know, how do we change our mags?
Mm-hmm.
How to reload
Yeah.
and still be in position to fire? So I had to gradually build my clientele up.
Mm.
And then now they know what they're doing. And they be like, you know what? They confident. They
Mm-hmm.
know they can do it.
Mm-hmm.
Now I got somebody who's armed
Yeah.
and prepared.
For sure. No, that's good. I always get the question, when I go to a new class, what should I be doing? What should I be thinking? Should I be preparing for something? I always say, have your glass empty. Every time I go to a new class, go to a new instructor, I'm trying to learn every bit of what that instructor has to offer, whether I learn something out of it or I don't. But I still go in with an empty cup so I can fill it up. Uh,
Mhm.
and that's up to you if you get any benefit from it. So, what is your favorite class to teach of yours?
I think easily a defensive pistol
Okay. Why is that?
because defensive pistol is it's all action, honestly.
Mm.
Like we're out in the outdoor range. Um, we're shooting while we're moving. We're putting everything together. You know what
Having
I'm
some
saying? Like
fun.
we put everything together.
Yeah.
Uh, and they like, oh yeah, this is it.
Right.
Like you see the smiles on people's face, like they
Yeah.
most Rambo-ish. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I hear people like, yeah, I was kind of like John Wick today. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
they feel a part of it. They get to shoot while move. They move around things. They learn what cover and concealment is. They
Mhm.
know the difference between the two. They know
Mhm.
how to shoot around barricade, over barricade.
Right.
Um, you know, they learn how to trace their shots.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and they pulling it all together.
Mhm.
So that's probably my favorite class to teach.
All right.
It, I do love the hand-to-hand combat classes.
Yeah.
I do get enjoyment out of that and seeing a person start from the bottom and then I don't even have to say nothing. I just start throwing shots at them and
Mm.
they reacting to it and knowing how to react to it. That do feel good. But I do think the defensive pistol class is probably my favorite.
All right. All right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just
So,
because it's
so
just so much action. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah, for
It's just so
sure.
much
I
action.
mean, you definitely get to have more fun,
Yeah.
you know? So if I'm just starting out, I'm interested, I'm new, fresh face, I'm new to firearms. What's the first step that you would recommend me taking?
Dry firing exercise,
Mm-hmm.
right? Get to know your gun.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm a big fan of dry firing exercise. If you could find like some training tools,
Mm-hmm.
they got the good laser guns right now that you can put inside your gun.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Surefire autos. Those are really nice ones that you can get, and you can see what you're hitting. You can
Yeah.
see the mistakes you're making. The two biggest problems that people have when shooting is usually they don't know how to aim properly, and their trigger control is all out of whack.
Mm.
They slapping the trigger.
Right.
So if you can learn where your gun breaks
Mm-hmm.
and by doing dry fire exercises,
Yeah.
it doesn't get no better than that.
Okay.
Once you get used to your how to fire your shot and making sure uh you,
Yeah.
shooting gets easy after that.
Yeah. Yeah. That, that's awesome, man. I mean, all this is great information and some things I haven't even thought about. And I'm sure the viewers that are going to watch this are going to be taking notes. I hope you guys are taking notes. Uh, so, if there was an event, a disaster, something you had to prepare for, what event would that be?
An event to prepare for,
Yeah,
you
if it
can't
was
you can't
anything.
you can't prepare for a specific event. You have to just be prepared.
Mm,
Like life is life,
mm,
right? And to try to plan for a specific event
mm,
puts you at a disadvantage for every other event,
mm,
right? When I teach self defense, I don't teach us any singular type of defense,
mm.
right? Or I don't teach karate. I don't teach just boxing. I don't teach just elbow fighting. I don't teach just kale.
Right.
We put all of it together because you don't know which one you're going to need,
Mm-hmm.
and we plan for the and I have people prepare for the harm for harm.
Mm,
We prepare for harm.
mm-hmm.
If I'm standing right here and this person standing in front of me, where can he harm me at?
Mm.
And now we need to brace for that impact. Defense harm, and defense and attack the body.
Wow.
That's how I teach, and that's how I live my life.
Yeah.
I have to be prepared,
Yeah.
but the only way I can be prepared, I have to arm myself mentally and physically to be
Mm-hmm.
prepared for any situation.
Mm, mm,
Right? You can't be fully prepared for anything,
mm-hmm.
but as long as I'm prepared, then that's all that matters.
Yeah. Yeah.
Something happened, okay, cool. Let's grab this, and I can be as prepared as I want to. And now I got to just live with it. The
Yeah.
car's already failed. Now let's let's do
Yeah.
what we got to do.
For sure, man. So being prepared for everything, I think that's a great point because I mean, you obviously can't prepare for everything. So you got to do the best you can with what you know and have. So do you recommend uh, full families coming to your class or individually? How do you see people coming to your class as far as a group?
I definitely encourage full families. I love that more money, of course. but but yeah, I definitely highly encourage families. But usually, what happens is one or two people come, and
Hmm.
then they invite the rest of their family. They're like, you gotta go,
Okay.
you
All
gotta
right.
go.
Yeah.
I used to advertise through mediums like I had a commercial for two
Hmm.
years,
Okay.
which was great. Uh, Bad thing about it, I did have it on Channel 19, Channel 43, and Bounce Network, which
Mm.
gave me a lot of calls. Like I had a lot of calls,
Yeah.
probably like 30 calls a day,
Wow.
but it didn't give me a lot of revenue behind
Mm.
because it wasn't on cable.
Right.
Um, I used to advertise through like different local media, like magazines and stuff like that. It
Hmm.
did pretty good, but honestly, majority of my clients come from word of mouth.
Okay.
Um, in about the 10 years I've been doing this, I have done well over 11,000 people
Wow,
certified.
that's
Um,
awesome.
so now I have enough people who, when people say, "Hey, I'm looking to get my CCW,"
Yeah.
they say my name now.
Nice.
Um,
Nice.
so that is great. It's a great feeling.
Hmm.
But I don't do it for the money.
Hmm.
That's why I turn a lot of people away.
Hmm.
Um, and I have other people who actually who I would turn them to, like, hey, look, you might want to, if people just want to get it just to say they have a CCW. If I have a class and you jump in it, yeah, but I'm just not just gonna do a class just for you. I
Right.
want you to get something out of it. I really do. I'm not shortcutting my class. Some people are like, hey, could you just do the 5 hour class? No, I don't. I don't.
Hmm.
My class is actually longer than the average class
Mm.
because I give you more,
That's good.
right?
Yeah.
I'm giving you. I'm trying to, like. I'm not doing it just for me. I'm not doing it for a paycheck. I make really good money in my regular job. I
Right.
got 3 businesses, and I run a major one of the major banks
Nice.
in the nation,
Yeah.
right? Um, so I do good,
Yeah.
right? So I don't need the extra money, but I love it. I
Mm.
love to teach. It's a passion of mine to make sure that not only I'm teaching people,
Hmm.
but I'm empowering my people,
Yeah.
for just in case,
Hmm.
just in case. And like I love to hear the stories of people who actually overcame and they did what they supposed to do.
Mm.
And like I'm a person who like feels like this. Like, until we as a people
Mhm.
take ownership of us,
Yeah.
every aspect, then it's going to be hard for other people to take us serious.
Mm. Yeah.
So for my sisters, I want them to be strong enough that nobody would step to them. For
Mhm.
my brothers, I want them to be so confident in themselves that they see any one of our sisters
Mhm.
being taken advantage of,
Mhm.
getting attacked, that they feel secure in their selves to actually stand up for them,
Mm.
right? If we as a community of Black people can make sure even us that we take accountability even for ourselves,
Mhm.
then we don't even need the cops no more. We don't need the police. We can police ourselves,
Mhm.
but we have to start looking at ourselves, and it start with accountability.
Yeah.
And and I I have these conversations with every class
Mm.
that hopefully I can spark an idea from somebody or somebody else to be like, you know what, no longer am I don't be having my phone up taking a picture of
Mm.
some dude attacking a female,
Mm.
or this happening to this, or uh that we doing this. And I
Yeah.
want to inform people because there's so many people with guns,
Mm.
right? That if they know what the law state, what we can do, what we cannot do, then they less bound to actually do the stupid stuff,
Mhm. Mm.
right? That we can stop attacking each other, that we can stop tearing down each other, and we
Yeah.
start building each other up, that we build real communities,
Yeah.
that we build real businesses,
For sure.
right? When those things start happening, the infrastructure of us as a community can become a community.
Mm.
Because let's be honest, we're the only culture that doesn't have a culture,
Right. Right.
that we're not a community. I see other people from other countries come to our country,
Mhm.
come to this country, and they already have an infrastructure set up for them to succeed.
Mm.
Why can't we do that to ourselves?
Right. Right.
Why do we still do this crab in a bucket mentality?
Mhm.
Right? I think that for if if society keep on going, there's going to be an event that's going to happen,
Mhm.
and hopefully we can be prepared for it.
Yeah.
But it's gonna take us to change our mentality
Yeah.
to actually be prepared for it.
For sure. For sure.
And
Man,
I think each one of us need to teach one.
yeah. Yeah. Now you make some great points there. I mean, so much was packed into that that we could break down. But it's so important. It's so important to hear from you, hear your perspective, your business mentality, your mentality on defense and preparedness, your mentality on firearms and our people in our community. Um, So for the business itself, where do you see Armed and Prepared going from here?
All right. So I want to be multi-faceted, to be honest. I made a really nice investment into being a minority owner, shareholder with C4 Outdoor Range
Mm,
and Training Center, um, because I wanted not only to actually have a place where I can go and that I can bring my clients, is to actually to be in that space.
right,
It's not too many of us that's in that space.
right.
In fact, I am the only one who looked like me
Mm,
in our ownership group,
wow.
right? And the only other black owned, I know anybody who's black and own any part of a gun range is in
Mhm,
Cincinnati, Ohio, and they own the whole thing,
wow.
right? Uh, why can't we,
Mhm,
right? That we need to do this.
mhm,
I do have an event on the 27th,
mm,
um, which I'm inviting everybody to come to. $20 for 3 hours
mhm,
of range time, and I'm going to have there some vendors who selling guns,
mhm.
some vendors who selling ammunition at a decent rate. You can't get too
Nice.
cheap, but
Yeah,
at
yeah.
a decent rate. Uh, I'm going to have some lawyers there
Mm,
that teach us what our laws are here in Ohio.
mm, nice.
I'm going to have a company there who is going to actually let us know and what we can do if we ever have to get into that fight.
Mhm,
What comes after that? How
nice,
we protect ourselves
nice,
legally,
nice.
right?
Yeah.
For a very affordable cost, and it only costs to get there. Like I said, $20.
Mm,
I am limited on space, so people have to pre-register to get in.
yeah,
But I want as many people who can to come get
yeah.
this information. I'm gonna be giving away hot dogs and drinks, but that's
Yeah,
nothing. We don't have raffles that's out there, but I want people to actually see and support our outdoor range.
mhm,
Also, to be able to get this information
yeah, yeah. What
because
date is that
that
again? Say the
it's
date
on the
again.
27th. It's June
27th,
27th.
June 27th.
I probably gonna
Make sure you guys support that. June 27th.
I'm probably gonna do one in July as well. I'm probably gonna end
Mhm,
up have to do that because I depending on the response.
mhm,
Um, but I just don't want to be seen as the CCW guy. I did that. Honestly, I got somebody else who worked for me who does classes
mhm,
um, that I'm going to probably um, hand a lot of the classes over to him.
mhm,
Um, and I want to concentrate on the hands-on training more,
mm,
which with the advanced pistol,
yeah,
um, with the defensive pistol, with the rifle classes,
mhm,
the hand-to-hand combat classes.
mm,
I got some other endeavors that I'm looking to do. I don't want to like to spill the beans on
yeah,
those
yeah.
yet, but looking to do something that's not being done in our area at all.
Awesome.
Um, um, and if we get those off the ground, I'm trying to be I'm definitely trying to be when it comes to personal protection,
Mhm,
be all right in the middle of it.
mm,
Because we have to. We so behind.
yeah, yeah,
We're so behind.
yeah. That's awesome, man. Again, you're doing some great things, some great opportunities for us. And before we get out of here, let the people know where they can find you, your social media, phone number, all that good stuff.
All right. So on Instagram, I'm armed and prepared. Just one straight word, armed and prepared. If you type in armed, I'm probably like the first or second person who comes up anyway. Um, my number you can find me at is area code 216-632-3312. I answer as long as you call me between 7 in the morning and 9. After that, I ain't answering it. I'm talking to you
Right.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
Uh, but as long as you sending me a text message or you call, I'm definitely make sure I get back to you. Or you can actually just find me on Instagram, Armed Prepared. I
Yeah.
do got a YouTube. My daughter made it for me, and I honestly don't put any content on it.
Yeah,
I need
for
to do that.
sure.
I'm just not organized like that.
Mm.
And I do have a Facebook that I never go on, um, as well, and it's Armed and Prepared as well. But
All right.
Instagram, I'm always on there.
All right.
Um, so definitely hit me up there. And there's gonna be more stuff coming out. I don't get a content creator who can actually do all that good stuff for me.
Yeah. Yeah, for
Um,
sure.
I'm going to need it with the ventures that we haven't coming up. Um, but as of right now, that's where you can find me.
Nice, nice. Well, I want to thank you again, Lamont. Again, guys, Armed and Prepared. Go to Instagram, type in Armed and Prepared. Get in contact with him, for your courses, self-defense. He's doing some great things, and this is something that's needed in our community. This is something that we personally need individually to stay safe and protect our families. So I hope you guys got something out of this. I hope you guys took notes. Please go back and watch this. Support Armed and Prepared. And I hope you guys are safe, healthy, and blessed. I'll see you guys soon.